I see a Roger Stone shirt on right there.
Yeah. What, you got a problem with Roger Stone?
Roger Stone.
What do you know about
I know
Roger
a lot
Stone?
about Roger Stone. I'm going to ask the question. What's on the back of Roger Stone's, on his back? What tattoo?
Tricky Dick.
No, that's right, Tricky Dick.
He's the only man with a dick on his front and his back.
And who was he partners with?
Who was he partners with?
Roger Stone.
Yeah.
Who was he partners with?
He was partners with a lot of people.
No. He was partners with Paul Manafort.
Blackstone, Manafort.
And who else?
Who else?
I'm going to tell you who else. Lee Atwater.
Yeah, that's right.
I know that's right.
You didn't know that. The Boogeyman.
You didn't know that.
What about him? Lee
All
Atwater?
three of those guys are the worst scumbags in the world. Stone's going to prison. He's going to be a cellmate with Paul Manafort.
You think that he's going to be a cellmate of Paul Manafort? Literally?
Absolutely.
All right. So what did he do that's wrong?
Roger Stone was responsible for passing the emails to WikiLeaks so that Trump could release them.
Wow, you believe all that, huh?
Absolutely.
You watch a lot of TV? You watch a lot of CNN?
What I don't watch is Fox Moron News.
So you do watch CNN?
I really don't.
You really don't?
No.
Listen, let me just ask you about this.
No.
Okay, let's talk about this right here. Why are you here?
Hi, how are you?
Can I ask you why you're here at this protest?
Yeah, you can ask me.
Why are you here at this protest?
I think it's important that everybody understand that we've got a high-valued person, Russian high-valued asset, sitting in the White House. Let me repeat that.
Yeah.
We have a high-valued Russian asset sitting in the White House.
Okay.
And is that what we really want?
You are aware that Russiagate is complete and total hoax.
Release his tax returns.
Okay.
Let him release
Can I
his
ask you a
tax
question,
returns.
sir?
No.
Why? You just
I don't
screamed
know
at me
you.
and I can't ask you.
I don't know you.
Don't touch me, man.
You can
Don't
talk.
touch me.
Don't touch me.
You can keep
Don't touch
talking
me.
to
I'm gonna ask you a question. I don't care.
Yeah.
You just touch me. I'm asking you a question. All right.
No.
Release the tax returns. Don't you think that it's a little bit better if we look at the tax returns of the people who go in with zero money and then make $1 million?
Every president, every governor, every president should.
What is that question?
How many times has he declared bankruptcy? How many times has he declared bankruptcy?
So what? What does that have to do with anything? How is he doing right now in the? Is he doing anything good for the country right now?
Well, like what? What is he doing good for the country? Tell me.
Low unemployment, the greatest economy in the country.
And we're still working 3 jobs. No increase in pay.
Are you working 3 jobs?
I'm retired.
Never mind that. Where were you when unemployment was 8% and Obama was sworn in? When he left, it was 4.3%. So Trump got another 1%. Big deal. The stock market doubled under Obama. Did he get credit? Whether he deserved it or not, he didn't get credit.
Guess what? I voted for Obama, and I didn't come out here resisting at all. I didn't resist against him. Here's a duly elected president, Trump, and he didn't do anything. What about Biden? What about Biden?
How can you be supporting Roger Stone? How can you be supporting him?
Roger Stone is a good man. He didn't do anything.
He's achieving his purpose. He wants to disrupt this rally.
No, I don't.
Focus there.
I just want to interview people.
You're right.
Focus there.
I just want to interview people. Let's focus on this.
No, you don't.
Let's focus on this person.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
Let's do it together.
What did he do?
No one is above the law.
What did he do?
Please.
Did he do the same thing that Biden did?
I'm not going to get into it with you.
Did he do the same thing Biden did?
I'm not going to get into it.
What did Biden do?
No one is above the law.
Burisma. And Hunter Biden. What are you talking about?
No one is above the law. No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
Your boy
no one is above the law. No one is above the law.
What does that even mean? You ever see a Trump rally? You ever see a Trump rally? How many people show up? There's like 15 losers over here. That's about it.
How many did he pay?
How many did he pay?
You will get nowhere saying anything except Trump is not above the law. Trump is not above the law. Trump is not above the law. Again!
Okay, let's go back over this way. Come here.
Above the law.
Trump is not above the law. Trump is not above the law. Trump is not above the law. What? Oh, no. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Can I
I'm
ask you,
doing well.
Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, of course.
How you doing? Are you pro-impeachment?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, why?
Because of the many crimes that President Trump has committed in his time in office.
Okay, what crimes? Name 2 crimes.
The 3 specific crimes that I'm thinking of is soliciting a bribe from the Ukrainian president for him in order to be able to investigate Biden's in the guise of corruption. Second of all, is obstruction of justice, obstruction of Congress by refusing to have anyone come and interview, to sit for an extended period to answer questions during both the Judicial Committee and with the House committees.
What's the third thing?
The third crime that he's committed?
Yeah, you said 3, right?
Yes. The original involvement with Russia to back in 2016.
Okay. So can I talk about these points right now, and we'll have a little discussion about it?
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing was the Ukrainian phone call. Okay. You saw about Hunter Biden working for Burisma, right?
Yes.
And you saw what happened. You saw the video of Biden talking about $1 million that he was going to withhold unless they fire the prosecutor.
Ma'am, please.
Ma'am, don't
We're
touch
having
me.
a conversation.
Do not touch
Thank
me.
you.
Okay, so what do you think about that? You think that's fair? Don't you think that's even more blatant than what he did? He never mentioned anything about if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. Everything was just a discussion. He released the transcript, and nothing was blatantly said. Nothing was blatantly said there's going to be a quid pro quo. But Biden blatantly said, if you
take that in isolation, absolutely. But if you look at the larger picture, like the removal of the ambassador, Giuliani and his involvement with, hey, I want you to coordinate with both Barr and Giuliani in order to do it. You can't just look at that one thing in isolation. There was an entire pattern of that.
But you're looking at something in isolation.
In terms of having Hunter Biden, in terms of having Vice President Joe Biden talk about that, that was a multinational effort to remove that prosecutor. And apparently it was successful because we released aid to them in 2016, 2017. It wasn't until this year in July that Trump said, we need to do some investigating about that.
Okay.
So why was it not a problem in the previous years since Trump took office?
Let's move on to number two. Number 2, Congress. Okay.
Yes.
So those are 2 different, completely different branches of Congress, of government, correct? We have the executive and we have Congress, okay?
And judicial, right.
Yeah, judicial. Now,
We need your voice
isn't
here.
judicial?
Thank you, ma'am.
Isn't judicial supposed to step in? And there is no. What is this? What is this
No.
about? You're
No, the only time judicial should step in is to act as the chief during the trial that would occur in the Senate.
If there's 2 branches,
Now, subpoenas were issued, and Congress certainly had the right to have them to have people who were subpoena arrested and not done, although they withheld doing that. So it's to my concern that they subpoenaed, and there was the refusal on behalf of the executive branch to cooperate with that investigation by sending anyone over to testify.
If something is in fact ridiculous, don't you think that you should just move on and just deal with the country and the country business rather than deal with a conspiracy theory such as that?
No, that's stupid. I think obeying pieces of glass that light up in different colors is ridiculous. But I still know to stop for a red light, because it's understood. We all came together and agreed, hey, if the light's red, that means you stop. I don't actually need an officer standing there with his hand up saying, I see you, I see what you've done.
Yeah.
So no, you may feel that it is ridiculous. Your feelings do not enter into it. Congress has the power. You listen to Congress.
No, I don't think they do. I think you have 2 different branches that are totally their own separate branches.
Agree that Congress has the right to investigate?
They have the right to investigate, but what he's doing is not what you're saying.
They're not investigating.
They have the right. They have the right to investigate, but he doesn't have to go along with the investigation.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
If he has people
if there's a problem, then the judicial branch can hop in and they can mediate it. That's what our yes, it is.
Congress makes the laws. It is up to the judicial branch to interpret the laws and to provide for their enforcement of that.
So why don't we just allow them to
interpret? Doesn't have to go, oh, you didn't listen to me, I guess I'll go to the judicial branch. That's not how that works. Congress has its own empowerment to do that.
Okay, so let's go to the third thing, Russiagate.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a complete conspiracy theory and been totally shown to be absolutely wackadoodle. If anybody thinks that, they're a conspiracy theorist, nut job. But you believe it?
So that hat does a good job of hiding the tinfoil there if you think that was a conspiracy.
No, I'm talking to you about conspiracy theories.
Right, but run me through the steps, because the way that I see it,
right? You think Russia was the reason why, Trump won?
Yes, I think
that. You really think that?
I think that honestly, Russia influenced through social media in terms of Facebook using third parties like Cambridge Analytica.
Didn't they only get like $50,000 worth of ads or something like that? Didn't they make an attempt? But you think that's really going to sway?
You'd be amazed at what one thing could do. All it takes is one. How many times did Lyndon Johnson have to run the ad with daisies with nuclear bombs?
What do you think about? Is Russia
that was an effective ad?
Is Russia affecting us right now?
Yes, and they will continue to.
Actively affecting us right now. So all those guys are Russian agents. All those Trump supporters are Russian agents.
How did you make that leap of logic?
I'm saying we're always having this discussion. We continue to have it 3-4 years later after he won the election. Okay.
Yes, so, we'll continue to have it 10 years, 20 years, 100 years.
Are they still active on Facebook, making all these people go to all these rallies?
Yes, they absolutely can have that.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Let's go. How you doing there? That's a nice sign. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
All right. What does that say? I'd like you to do us a favor and impeach. Okay. Why?
Why? High crimes and misdemeanors.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean? Bribery, extortion, quid pro quo.
Bribery as in what? Like, okay, do you think that the phone call that he made with the Ukrainian president is the same thing as what happened with Biden and his son?
Of course not.
Do you think that that's acceptable behavior?
What Biden did?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because that was U.S. foreign policy. That was supported by U.S. and the European Union.
What was?
To remove the corrupt attorney general.
Okay, so
by removing that attorney general, he increased the odds that Burisma was going to be investigated.
Do you think that it's at all weird that all these people that are career politicians?
Oh, I just saw your shirt.
All these people that are career politicians,
okay.
all of them have their sons and daughters all have jobs working for Ukrainian oil and gas companies. Okay.
If you're concerned about that, look at Javanka. Like they just made $83 million last year working for what?
Working for who?
You tell me. You tell me how.
I'm asking you. I want to know. I want some info.
With you, bro. This is like obviously you're trolling. So.
Okay. Non-answers. Nice. All right, come on.
There he is.
Vesio for Congress. Sir, can I ask you a couple questions? You're out here, doing an anti-protest. Is that correct?
That's right.
What's going on?
Well, what's going on is I have to admit we are outnumbered here today, and I have to blame the leadership of the Republican Party for failing to bring the necessary people here. What they did was they sent them all the way down to the middle of nowhere at Ted Deutsch's office, which is on a dead-end street. Ted Deutsch, Congressman Deutsch, is up in Washington, D.C., and there's no Democrats protesting down in Boca. So
is Rick Scott here?
Rick Scott's not here as far as I know. But the people that are not here are the ones that I'm upset with.
Now, I just went in there and
the people that are here, the people that are here that are standing up for America, for our police, for law enforcement, for capitalism, for anti-communism, for free speech, for the Constitution, for the First and Second Amendment. This is why we're here.
That's right.
Absolutely. Now, when I went in there, I just got a flood of answers. I was talking to them, asking them some questions. And, I asked them about Burisma, and they all seem to think that was foreign policy. That was American foreign policy, and there's nothing wrong with that. What do you think about that?
I think what you have here, based on my inside information, is about half these so-called Democrats got bussed in by George Soros, and they're getting paid anywhere from $50 to $150 a piece. If you want to do some real clever research, you send some operatives in there making believe that they're on their side and start having them complain about only getting paid $50, and you'll start getting people to admit that they've been paid over $100.
Let me ask these people.
Burisma, I mean, here's an excellent point. You bring up Burisma. You tell me when in history you can name three Democrats and one ought to be Democrat. You got Pelosi, you got Biden, you got Kerry, and you got Romney.
And all their
kids who know nothing about the industry whatsoever, all work for and have $1 million jobs with a shell company that's a corrupt energy company in the Ukraine. So what happens? Trump decides he's going to uncover this, and it starts to go to the top, and you get a fake impeachment over a phone call that you can read the transcript yourself. Nothing wrong with the phone call whatsoever, no quid pro quo, no bribery, no nothing. The aid was released, and this is why, because they don't want it released. If you follow the money, this is what it leads you to. But those who are too blind or stupid to see will never acknowledge the truth, and that's why we're here.
Yeah. Let me ask them if they're George Soros funded. What?
I'd just like to mention one other thing. If you look around, you're not going to find one person here from Republican Congressman Brian Mast's office. Nick Vessio's here. We need to send Nick Vessio to Washington and get some real Republican congressmen in.
You had to sneak that in, huh, Tom?
I had to, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You know, also too, you know, like Tom had said in the beginning, we're greatly outnumbered here, but we know what we stand for. Look at our side. Look at the amount of American flags. Look at the amount of patriotism that we show our love for this country. There's maybe 800 or 1,000 people there.
Not one American flag.
One American flag.
Not one.
Not one.
Let me ask them about George Soros.
Why should Stone be pardoned?
Why should he not be pardoned?
Well, a court of law said that he committed 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It was actually not that many. It was 6. There were 6 process crimes. 6 process crimes. So you know what a process crime is, sir?
I don't know what a process crime is.
Okay, so that's like.
But I respect an institution of the court.
Okay,
you probably don't.
Do you really? Do you really?
Yeah, because if one thing that Trump's been successful at is trying to shit on every institution that we have.
What if the institution is dirty?
Oh yeah, right.
What if the institution is dirty? What do you live in a La La Land fantasy world?
So-called judges.
It was a kangaroo court, my friend. Everybody looked like you. Hey, let's go. Can I ask you a question? Were you funded by George Soros to come out here?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure you weren't funded by George Soros? You weren't given $50, $100, bust out here?
Nothing.
Excuse me.
Let me ask this guy. Were you funded by George Soros to come out here?
I was not funded by anyone.
Not funded by anybody. Okay.
I'm a vice president of a bank. I don't need any funding. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Your bank is a capitalistic institution, correct?
It certainly is.
Okay, and what do they think about your left leanings?
They're very much in favor of it.
They are?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's your First Amendment right? That's fine. That's great. Nobody's stopping that at all. Now, what do you think about all these people that are being silenced on, like, social media, things like that, people that have a different opinion than you? Are you good with that?
People are being silenced on both sides for inciting violence, and that's acceptable.
That's not what's happening. I'm asking you a legitimate question. No inciting violence within the question. People are voicing their opinions, they're using their First Amendment rights, and they're being silenced on social media. Are you for or against that?
I do not have any empirical data either way.
Let's just say that that's a fact. Would you be for it or against it?
I need factual data.
Let's just say that's a fact. Let's just say
we don't say things are facts. They are facts or they are not facts.
If that was happening,
they are facts or they are not facts.
What would you think?
There is no such thing.
Let's just say if that was happening. If it was happening, would you or would you not be against it?
I have no comment.
Wow, this is just great. This is gold.
Save our democracy. We've got to impeach him. We've got to hold Trump accountable. This is critical. I demonstrated in the 60s against the Vietnam War. I'm demonstrating in my 60s to save America. This is too critical. Everyone's got to vote.
And that's very admirable that you're using your First Amendment rights.
Yep.
That's awesome. But now I want to ask you a question about Joe Biden, okay, and Burisma, okay, and the fact that there are numerous politicians such as Nancy Pelosi and others that have their children working for these offshore energy companies in these other countries, okay? You think that that's good? As somebody from the 60s, a person from the 60s who had to deal with real...
Okay, if you want to talk about children, look who's in the White House
That's
right
what I want
now.
to talk about specifically.
Without
I want to talk about
security-
Joe Biden specifically.
No, we're going to talk about Trump's children who are working in the White House.
Okay, so you couldn't answer that?
They never answer you. They never give you an answer. All they do is continue to question. That's why I don't answer anything they ask me. How y'all doing? Y'all can read this, but I won't answer any of his questions because he's gonna speak about Biden.
I ain't asking you any questions. I'm just filming you. I think it's funny.
Okay, go ahead.
Keep talking.
But you're not
That's all I need.
But you're not laughing yet. Go ahead. I haven't said anything yet. Ready?
What do you think about the Proud Boys?
You ready?
What do you think about Proud Boys?
Go ahead.
Film the Proud Boys looking at these guys. Look at this guy over here. This guy's standing over here. Look at this, Jade.
Racism. Please stop pretending that patriotism is racism. It's not. Patriotism has nothing to do with racism. It has to do with nationalism, nothing to do with color. Do you understand that? Then why are you holding that silly sign?
He's not going to say anything. He's just going to go like this. He's chewing gum going like this.
Are you on meth?
He's probably on meth. And George Soros probably paid him to be here.
Oh, George Soros is here.
But this is what they do.
What's really remarkable is that you think that George Soros funded this. I mean, that's
No,
like,
I was just asking the question.
yeah, because
I was
you
asking the question.
I think there's really a chance that it might.
Listen, you just said fantasy land stuff to me. All right?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, you did.
The fact that
I know you don't think you did. That's the funny thing.
Destroy our institutions. Is that fantasy?
Hello. Impeach Trump, why? Why should we impeach Trump? Don't engage.
Keep it moving.
Don't engage.
This guy's a third-rate. You're definitely a third-rate newscaster.
What are you?
Well, I can tell
You're not even a third.
I
You're
can
a
tell
fourth
you
way.
what you are. You're wasting your time here, and you're in the wrong. Get the cops should get this guy out of here. He doesn't belong here.
You can't be blocking the sidewalk, bro. You gotta keep moving.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Credentials. The guy's a fourth-rate journalist.
And you're a fifth rate.
Yeah, here you go. Right here.
Ask anybody questions? Ask you a question while you're here?
For freedom.
Okay.
Freedom of all of our societies. Trump's trying to destroy everything.
And you're a veteran, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your service. Now, what was it that about Trump that you just disapprove of? Did you disapprove of him from day one?
Before day one. I knew him, and he's cheated people in Florida all my life, and he's just a crook, and he's still a crook.
Better watch out. There's a fifth-rate guy who wants to silence your First Amendment rights.
This is a Marine. Pay attention here. I have nothing to say to you.
Oh, I just saw you speaking in
And I
the
don't
background.
need to say anything to you. You've already said it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
let me
very nice
let me show you this.
Yeah.
Pepe, you want to support Trump or be a dead dog? You want to support Trump or be a dead dog, Pepe? Pepe, you supporting Trump or be a dead dog? Come on.
Hey, Sonny.
Dead dog. There we go. Yay!
Hey, Sonny.
So he knows dead dog.
Listen to this Marine.
Hey, do you want to?
Hey, stand up for America.
Do you want to support Nancy Pelosi or be a dead dog? Nancy Pelosi or be a dead dog? Oh,
See there?
pretty good.
Thought you had him.
Very good. One more of this. How you doing, guys? Can I talk to any of you guys? Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Just out talking to those psychos.
Yes, you're exactly what they are. Thank you for calling it as you see it. Now, finally, some
Absolutely.
real news.
Absolutely. So why are you out here
Because we love our president. We're going to represent and stand. You know, when you have people like that who don't love freedom, who don't love your president, who you don't even see one flag over there, they hate this country. We had to come and represent and say, President Trump, we're standing for you. We're standing for this country. I love America. I love my country. I love my freedom. And I will stand by her and I will fight with her because this is our land. And all those people there, they have no clue. They're not even, do you see one flag over there, sir?
There's one veteran out there over there I was just talking to.
Really?
Yeah, and he's hated Trump since day one, apparently.
Well, then he hates the man. He doesn't.
He taught his dog how to play dead. He goes, "Do you support Trump?"
Oh,
and then the dog plays dead.
Well, I think the man might have PTSD and he doesn't really know. I think something happened while he was in war. That's the only excuse I could give to that man because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. Yeah. It's a shame.
There he is.
Guys,
fascism sucks. Proud of my boy.
These guys are getting really angry. They're super angry. Well, we're in West Palm Beach, enjoying the What are you talking about? Oh, you talking? You talking now? You talking? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you, an Antifa member? Huh? Do you make any money at all? Do you have a job? You work with, hey, you live with mommy? You live in mommy's basement or something? Oh yeah, we're in Florida. You probably live in the garage. Who is? Who? Trump? You really believe that? Do you really believe that? Why? Why do you believe that? Open my eyes? You like conspiracy theories, don't you? That's fake news. Fake news. You watch a lot of CNN? You believe everything you see and read? Everything the government says to you, you believe, huh?
No, he said I went to school. He said
what?
He said he read love letters to Putin.
Who said that? That sounds.
Trump said he read love letters to Putin.
Yes, you love him so much. You should know that.
He said he read love letters.
You're right. I love Trump. I love my president. Hey, by the way, you know that? Do you know that it's a sin? It's a sin. It's in the Bible to not respect your leaders. Timothy 1:5. Hey, do you know it's in the Bible? It's in the Bible. It says it's a sin. All right, you don't want to talk about something real. That's fine. That's fine.
He's a draft dodger.
What? Oh, the Pete tape? You think the Pete tape's real?
Trump.
You know that's fake, right? You know that's fake. That's good.
That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that.
Communism sucks. Communism sucks. Communism sucks.
Communism sucks. Communism sucks. Communism sucks. Communism sucks. Communism sucks. Communism sucks. Communism sucks. Communism sucks.
Communism sucks. Yeah, fuck away Venezuela. For Venezuela.
He's a traitor.
Ask him.
Wait.
Have the conversation.
Are you talking about how he sold 20% of our uranium to Russia?
Hillary did that.
And how he gave $150 billion to Iran? Are you talking about how Trump gave 20% of our uranium to Russia?
Oh, Ukraine. It was Ukraine.
I know, right?
It's a trick question. She had to tell him.
Are you talking about how Trump gave $150
$50 billion to Iran. Where's your guys' American flags? Where's your 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 American flags? Do you see any American flags? All those dictators.
Where's your American flag?
Yes, he does. And he cares about you too, my friend. He cares about you too, my friend. I don't see one American flag over there. Not one. Cares about you too, man. And by the way, can I tell you something? It is a sin it's a sin to go against your leader and disrespect your leader. Timothy 1, 5-7. It says it in the Bible. It says in the Bible. You're a sinner, my friend. You are a sinner. You're a sinner. You're a sinner. You're a sinner. What you do? Huh? I was a bomb squad. Yeah. Special weapons, buddy. 82nd Airborne. Special weapons. You're on the wrong side. Special weapons. You're on the wrong side. No, I ain't. Right here, buddy. Right here. American right here. Right here. Nobody loves you on that side. He writes love letters to Putin. No one loves you over there. He paid off prostitutes. No one loves the military. He paid off prostitutes. No one loves the military. Let him spend the night with his daughter. Let him spend the night with his daughter.
I just went over there and interviewed him. He's kind of retarded. Okay.
He's not that bad. All he does is just try to receive.
All right, have a conversation, man.
And it's not in front of him. I'm saying shit, and he's like,
you think really? All right, let's see.
Hey guys, you should let him spend the night with your daughter. That's Epstein. That's who we arrested. That's who we arrested. That's his boy.
It's Epstein's boy? Are you serious? That's Donald's boy.
I've been reading.
Do you pay attention to anything at all?
Trump is going to keep you trusted with all the women in your life, right? Good luck with that. More so than Clintons. Well, maybe they can't get more so than Clintons in the cages, right? What? You don't support the kids in the cages, right? That was under Trump. I mean, that was under Obama. Okay, ready? I'm going to tell you, ready? Let's go put this for your show. You know that was under Obama. Oh, yeah, bring the camera back. I got you. So the kids in cages, what Obama did was separate them from families, and they're being used for sexual reasons. And they're being transported. No, he's making sure they're related. Before he brings them back, he makes sure they're yours right here. No. What he's doing is to get
You're an idiot. Anybody to watch you. Get back, idiot.
from coming, so he separates them as a punishment, which is not correct. To make sure that they're related? No. No, he supports the parents. To deter, and that's not correct. No. He said himself. He's definitely brainwashed. No, he's not. He's not. These people are still brainwashed. He's not. He's coming out. Why are you taking my picture? Hey, but wait, don't let camera. At least he understands I'm not brainwashed. Hunter Biden, if he did something wrong, he deserves punishment. Google, period. I will Google it. If Hunter Biden did something wrong, he deserves punishment. But when I talk about Hunter Biden...
Wait a second. Can I ask you a question, though? Why do you need to Google him, though? How do you not know that?
Well, same thing with Betsy DeVos. Betsy DeVos is the head of secretary.
How do they not know?
I'll talk about it when it's time to talk about it. They said, oh, he didn't do shit.
Can I put you on film? What? Can I put you on there?
Put the camera back on me, man. What
what he's doing is deflecting.
No, he's not. I'm telling you, he's not deflecting. He's not deflecting. He's bringing up a legitimate point.
Hello, y'all. Hello, y'all. All right, but this guy, bad news. All right, I'll see y'all.
See you, buddy. What? What do you mean?
He says because you're gay, you can't give blood.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is that true?
No, that's not true. They don't ask you one time when you go into the blood mobile. I don't have to. I want to go to the blood mobile. It's right over here. Do you guys ever go? I go.
It's funny.
I just gave blood like maybe a month ago. No, I had no hat on.
And by the way, you know that gay people support Trump, right? What if he had his red hat on? Gay people support Trump? What are you talking about?
Not black unless they're paid.
What?
Paid homeless.
Bro, he ain't.
Excuse me? What are you doing? What are you saying about my friend here?
He hangs out at the library every day.
What? Yes, he does, and he always has those shirts. Those awesome shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. So what? So what? What is she talking about? See that, man? You see who always see? It's the white liberals who do that. As Malcolm X said that. You gotta watch out for the white liberals because they're all BSers. They all say whatever, and they do not practice what they preach. They never practice what they preach, ever. They are full of it.
Up is down, black is white for you.
No, you live in clown world. You do. Trump won, duly elected president. You're the one resisting. You live in clown world. You're the opposite day one.
Hey, we're resisting because he broke the law.
And I know plenty of black people, okay? Plenty of African Americans who totally support Trump. See, that's ridiculous. That's so funny we caught her. She just said it.
What?
She said, how did you know it gave blood? You probably had your red hat on.
He probably wrote to continue
What
being
does
a
it say?
slave. I feel so much hate in my heart for him, and I don't even know him. He has the right to support whoever he wants. He doesn't care about how poorly Trump treated black folks.
I don't know what you're just trying to show me.
So her facts are a text.
What are you showing me? What does that mean?
Wait, her facts are a text.
Oh my God! What's your deal? What's your problem? What's your problem with Roger Stone?
Nixon tattoo on his back?
He's the only man with a dick on his front of his back.
Criminal. No, you look so honest and trustworthy. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, just enough.
What are you saying? You didn't say any facts just now at all. You said zero facts. What the fuck? What did he do to you?
Why do I want to talk to you?
I'm just wondering. Make a compelling argument. What are you doing out here? Trying to make a compelling argument.
Because there's a transnational crime syndicate masquerading as our government. Because the GOP has been taken over by Russia. They don't have any patriotism to our country. They don't give a shit about you or me. They care about the almighty dollar. It's all about money. Okay? It's becoming a kleptocracy. Okay? I don't want to become Russia. That's what Russia is. I don't want to live in an oligarchy. I like this democracy. I want my child to grow up in a democracy, to have a democracy for his future.
Russiagate's been completely refuted. It's a conspiracy theory. If you're a Russiagator, you're an insane conspiracy theorist. You're an insane conspiracy theorist.
That is
absolutely true.
Is that why Michael Cohen is in jail? Why is he in jail? Did you read the Mueller report?
Wait, what? Who was? Who?
Do you even believe the facts that?
No, it was refuted. It's complete fake news. Fake news. You're an insane conspiracy theorist.
Facts really.
Russiagators are insane conspiracy theorists.
Go back to your QAnon. That's.
Thank you.
He always said That's me. With that look